If you were to walk down Broadway in January 1953, on a day when the snow is falling, but the wind blows so fiercely that everything flies at you sideways, where snowdrifts are flattened and cars emerge from the white like monsters in the dark. If you were to walk down Broadway on a day like that, you would have entirely walked into the chaos without realizing it until it was too late. You might have walked into one of the large hulking men in heavy overcoats and muffs on their ears or flat caps on their heads because they'd lived in the city long enough and didn't need no protection. Scarves around their throats up to their mouths, damp on the inside from breathing heavily. Of course, it had to storm today, one would say, and another would grunt and agree. Then a large steel door would burst open. One of those doors you don't even notice are there until you do. Then you might actually look around you. Look up at the building in front of you. You'd see the boarded up windows, an abandoned warehouse. You might think, right here in the middle of Broadway, right under your nose? You might think, what else goes on in this city that I don't know about, right under my nose? Can I help you? You might offer as two more large men emerge from the dark inside, carrying large boxes and wheeling heavy crates. You'd notice then that the boxes are stamped with the word gent. You might wonder if that was short for gentleman. Maybe they belong to an old suit factory. The men would ignore you, of course, because they have everything under control, even as they huff and puff and complain. They know what they're doing. One of them steps to the side after heaving his end of a crate into a large moving van. He places his hands on his lower back and stretches. The scarf slips from around his mouth. The snow finds his mustache quickly. You don't know why you're so curious. You don't even know why it matters. But you might try to make small talk, even though you have places to go and things to do. What's all this? Why in a snowstorm? You'll call out over the wind. Has to be done fast, has to be done now, says the man with the mustache. What is all this? Because the boxes are all such different sizes and shapes and make no sense to you. And again, because something compels you to ask. You might rub your hands together a bit, trying to warm them up. Your guess is as good as mine, kid. But then he'll decide he doesn't want to go back to work right away, so he'll say, some strange things in there. Experiments, looks like. You probably don't want to know. What a surprising answer. Something you had not anticipated. The building looks so dreary, no hint of life or strange goings-on. Where are you taking it all? To the Kismet Production Studios, other side of the city, for TV, you know. TV is going to be the next big thing, mark my words, he replies, brushing the snow that is accumulated on his mustache. You'll nod because you already think it is the big thing, nothing next about it. He won't see it, though. Through the snow, the wind, even just turning to look at someone is a struggle. Harvey, what do you think under the radar means? Oh, yeah, sorry. He might look at you now and mime locking his lips and then say, forget I said anything. Harvey, get over here. And then some choice profane words in the style of all New Yorkers. It doesn't bother you because you are also a New Yorker. If on this day you were to do all this, you may have been part of a very small slice of history, something that only a choice few ever really knew anything about, and those who did have long forgotten. You would have seen a massive crate, large enough to hold a car, which is the only thing you could think to compare it to, be craned over, held by heavy chains. Watch it creak in the wind as Harvey trudges his way over to help steady its descent from a window up high. You'd have seen the word fragile in large, black, inky letters along each side beneath the word gent again. You'd have felt the wind pick up speed. If, on this day, you had been there to witness both the beginning of a thing and the end. But of course you weren't, and you never saw it. And the truck, once loaded, drives off into the snow, disappearing into the flurries, and there is a stillness next to the building. And then, from deep within the walls, a sound like an echo of something, like a roar, or a scream. Or maybe it's just the wind. Next chapter, Dave, you ready?
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Dated New Year's Day, 1953. Now this section is crossed out.
The Illusion of Living, second edition, part 7. The end is the beginning. And the end of Joey Drew Studios was part of a well-laid plan. The studio closed in 1948. Now, you may feel some level of sorrow for me, old Joey. You might concern yourself that I was heartbroken. But
The next
sometimes,
section is not crossed out.
sometimes when I'm asleep, I dream I'm in Bendy's world. The walls around me, cartoonishly piled high into the sky, warped and mangled, drawn by hand. And the ink seeps in between the cracks in the planks of the wood. I dream I'm walking down a hallway, the floor covered in ink, like the shallows of an infinite bay. He calls out to me. They all call out to me. And I wonder if I am truly dreaming, or if I've slipped into another world, a world more real than what we call real. I wake up. I'm in my bed. My studio is gone. But I am not. I am here. And dreams never die. They just shift and squeeze themselves through different cracks until they find you again, consume you again. I will wait until they do. I can be patient. I'm not afraid. I've never been scared of the ink.
And then this bit is crossed out again.
No one will read this.